would say we were good together. I would say we had fun, but our trails will never run forever.
Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Lizungwe. If you are here for the first time, welcome. I hope you stay and you become part of my YouTube family. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome bestie. Thank you for the support. Today I'm going to talk about how I became debt free and the mistake I made of getting myself into debt review. Just a disclaimer, please take note that I am not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing my story and the lessons I learned through my mistakes. I've written down everything so that I do not forget certain things. What made me have too many debts? I had no financial background. I got financial education. That's when I got some light on how to get out of debt. I was already deep in debt by the time I got some financial education. What would happen is anytime I'm offered loan, I never said no. I said yes to every loan opportunity I got. Or sometimes I would get a call, yes, would you like us to increase your credit card? I was like, yes. Why not? I'd get so excited with those calls. It meant so much to me. It made me sink slowly deeper and deeper and deeper into debt. And also the other thing that also got me into debt is some of the things that I did, some of the choices that I made. I was also someone who related to pressure from black takes, from friends or people surrounding me. I gave in to everything. I would help anyone and almost everyone would approach me for help. I would even go and take a loan so that I can help someone. I would borrow money so that I can help someone. I think I was too much emotionally involved in people's problems. I wanted to help too much that it made me get into more and more debts. And also the fact that I didn't have an emergency fund, it also was a disadvantage. Sometimes when there's an emergency and something needs to be done, I would dig into my credit card, dig into my overdraft account, and I'm thinking getting into debt. I think in life we need to make sure that there is accountability for everything. And then this reminds me of Proverbs 25 verse 28, which says, a man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls. I feel like I was that kind of a person who did not have self-control because I thought I could serve the world, because I couldn't say no to certain things. How I got myself into debt review. I realized that I had too many debts. I couldn't breathe. Payday was stressful. I was doing this for my mental health because this was now starting to weigh me down. I was looking for a solution to help me breathe financially. So I started researching on how to pay off my debts. I wanted to do debt consolidation, but I didn't like the deals that I was getting. What is debt consolidation? Debt consolidation is when credit unions, banks convert many of your debts into one loan payments. They pay all your creditors and then you owe them, simplifying how many payments you have to make, meaning you're only gonna be paying them and they settle all your debts. They might even offer you lower interest rates than what you are currently paying. Increase the term, meaning that one will be stuck with a debt for a long time. So that's what I didn't like, being stuck with a debt for a long time. So that's when I decided to go for debt review, since the deal I was getting from debt review would bring some relief on my finances. Little did I know that I had made a wrong move. I was excited about debt review. They'd offered to that I would be paying 60% of what I was used to paying. So I was excited with that. So I did not check a lot of things or the disadvantages regarding debt review. What is debt review? Debt review is for over indebted people, meaning that your expenses are more than your income. I needed some relief, but my expenses were definitely not more than my income. Just that I couldn't breathe, and I wanted some relief. So I approached a debt counselor. I used debt busters. They negotiated with my creditors and proposed a repayment structure. I also got a lower interest rate fee. So I was making one payment to debt busters, my debt counselor, and then they distribute the payments that they had negotiated and agreed on to the creditors. Being under debt review protects your assets, and it protects you from being harassed by your creditors. It's something receiving calls all the time because it's the creditors. It also protects you from getting your assets being repossessed. No one is able to repossess your stuff when you are under debt review. It protects you from yourself because you can't take up more credit. Yes, it protects you from you. So what are the disadvantages of debt review that I noticed while being under debt review? It can delay your progress when it comes to finances. Every time someone does a credit check on your name, they will see that you are under debt review. The debt review flag will stay on your name until you pay off your debts and the debt counselor or lawyer removes it. I didn't know that debt review, being under debt review, it will close doors for me. I couldn't get a job. I remember going for a certain interview and I was so sure that I'm going to get this job. But the moment that they say that they're going to do a credit check, they're going to do a credit check and then they're going to be in touch. They were never in touch. They were never in touch. I knew I didn't get that job because of the debt review flag that was on my name. I ended up stopping applying for new jobs until I got myself out of the mess that I got myself into. And you can't take up any credit at all. Even a cell phone contract for 100 rands. And when I had pushed and closed a lot of accounts and I was trying to get certain things, I couldn't because that debt review flag was on my name. Explaining was not enough to say, can you see that I've got this much left after my expenses? I've got more than enough. I couldn't explain myself out on certain things so that I could get some credit that was going to help in some way. It was not bad credit. It was something that was really, 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 really necessary at that time. So the debt review blocked a lot of things on my side. I think debt review should be the last resort that you go to after you try to negotiate with your creditors and you fail and you are at the verge of your stuff being repossessed. Only then maybe should you consider going for debt review. How did I become debt free? Firstly, I had to accept my situation that this is where I am, because being in denial does not help with anything. I viewed my finances for what they really were, and I made a decision that I want to get out of debt. After getting into debt review, I'm laughing at myself. I defaulted on my payments. Mm. I reversed the debit orders. I did. I think I did it twice or thrice until the debt counselors stopped collecting. And then the creditors started calling me directly. I negotiated a payment arrangement with each of them, and then I started paying again. The only advantage with that was that the interest rate was still very low, except for one of my creditors who put back the initial interest after I defaulted with the debt counselor. Most of the interest rate was less than 5%. I was owing more than 5 creditors. I owed Standard Bank loan, credit card, overdraft. I had a net bank loan. I had a home choice account. Yeah. So what I did is I did a budget that showed me what I can do with what I have. I listed down all my debts and looked for a solution on how to pay them off. I had a debt elimination plan. Proverb 27 verse 23 says, know well the condition of your flock and give attention to your head. This was time for me to give attention to my head. I had this message written on my spreadsheet that I was using to pay off my debts. It says, please, Lord, give me the wisdom, the finances to achieve this goal of paying off my debts. I knew I couldn't do this alone. I needed God on my side. Hence, I had to write this message so that it's a constant reminder that I'm not in this alone. God is still on my side. I decided to create a debt killer fund that I would use to pay off my debts. I looked at my expenses and then I cut down on certain things. For example, I downgraded my DSTV, I reduced my phone bill, I stopped buying takeaways, I shopped mostly for discounts, looked for a cheaper place to rent. I started living way below my means. I also had investment policy with momentum. I stopped it so that I can divert the money to paying off my debts, because investment interest is lower than debt interest. Investment doesn't make sense sometimes if you have too many debts. I decided that I needed to pay off my debts and then I can invest later after paying off my debts. I decided on using the Snowball method to pay off my debts. What is the Snowball method? The Snowball method is when you pay the minimum balance on all your debts except for one with the lowest balance. For this debt, you want to use any extra cash that you have to pay up this debt. What I did is my lowest debt was Home Choice. I was owing them 3,200 and my installment was 400 Rand. So from the 500 Rand that I was saving now from momentum, from the DSTV downgrade of 300 Rand, the savings from the phone bill and savings from takeaways and other things, I took that 600 Rands, for example, and put it on the Home Choice payment. So that 600 Rand plus the 400 Rand initial payment for the Home Choice payment, I was going to be paying 1,000 Rand. So I paid the Home Choice and I was finished within a few months. And then I took that 1,000 Rand and looked for the next smallest debt that I had. And I took that 1,000 Rand and added to the payment that I was paying. So for example, if I was paying 600, it meant that I was going to be paying 1,600 on my next debt. I did this until I was debt free. What I also did is when I got a salary increase, I no longer increased my standard of living, because back than before I had financial education. When I would get a salary increase, I increased my standard of living when I got a salary increase. So I stopped doing that. So that money, I would use it to paying off the debt. I would add it to the debt that I'm busy trying to finish and add that money to it. And also, when it came to the bonus, I stopped spoiling myself. What I did with the bonus money is when I get that bonus money, I took that lump sum, go to my creditors and negotiate a settlement discount. Most of the times I would get 20% off and 30% off, which really helped me to finish the debts faster. Because when you settle, they just give you, okay, they say this quote is valid for 7 days or 14 days, I'm not sure. And then you pay it off and then you get a settlement later. That was really encouraging. I used the snowball method specifically because I wanted some motivation. You know, when I would close one debt, I would go like, yes, you know, that yes that I used to and I used to make when I get a phone call to say, Liz, can we increase your credit limit? That was the yes that I would make when I settle a debt. I loved settling debts. It made me happy to see that there is some progress. I am getting there. I'm doing this. If you're someone who likes to see progress, it's best that you use the snowball method when it comes to paying off debt. After I paid off my debts, I got help from a lady I was referred to by someone on Facebook. She helped me to remove the debt review flag. I sent her all the details that she asked for. I sent her all my paid up letters, and within a month, the debt review flag was removed. I started building my credit score again. It was nice when I saw it going up, going up, going up, going up, and now I knew better on what debt to take and what debt not to take. Once you're out of debt, my advice is try by all means to stay out of debt. It's best that way, to try by all means to stay out of debt. Yes, there are things that one cannot buy without going into debt, but try by all means to stay out of bad debt. I hope my story will help someone not to choose debt review as the first option and also to avoid debt as much as possible. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment.